But Snap tells him that they are just being lucky as they didn't get monetized. Haben, the illiterate animal, doesn't even know what demonetization means. So Snap explains that the green mark means that the gods of YouTube are happy and you will get paid. But if the yellow mark comes on a video, which usually happens when your content has too much violence, it will mean that your video got demonetized and that you won't earn any money from it. While they were talking, they suddenly noticed the thought from their classroomie, who was streaming and being fake cute about her life. She suddenly notices Snap and Haben and immediately tries to get them into her stream to steal their viewers. The boys start running away from this gold-digging e-thought and are finally able to get away by the time sun sets. While they were walking through a store, Haben notices a beautiful tracksuit on sale, but the cost for the item was $500. He is shocked to see that anyone would buy this thing, but notices that Snap has already bought one for himself, and encourages Haben to get one as well. Haben suddenly realizes that no matter how much money he earns, he will never know how to spend it. He was about to leave the shop when Bomi texts him and asks him out for a date, which makes him so happy that he buys the tracksuit just to look cool. The next morning, he gets ready in the park with his suit on and waits for her, while some actor-looking streamer walks in and start making all the girls in the area moist. The actor suddenly notices Bomi and tries to ask for her number, but she rejects him and walks over to Haben. Haben realizes that she is not for the streets while Bomi seems happy as they are both wearing the same suit. He thinks about how there is always a pecking order, and the weak are forced to bow to the strong. He was always forced to bow to Pak because of his strength. Things come in a circle, and Pak was forced to bow down to Kim in order to not get beat up. He always admired Kim, but also knew he could never be like him as he is tall and muscular compared to his midget-like body with no muscles. Bomi doesn't seem to mind being with a short king, which makes him daydream about a future with her, but she snaps him back to reality and they sit down to eat something. Bomi tries to initiate conversation, but here Haben completely loses because he has never really talked to a girl before. Bomi keeps trying but realizes that it's of no use as she gets up and prepares to leave, claiming that Haben talks really nicely over texts but not in person. Us bro us. Just before she could leave, Haben apologies and tells her honestly that he has never been out on a date with a girl and spends most of his day at his home watching YouTube. Moreover, he couldn't really look her in the face without getting nervous because she is so pretty. This seems to change Bomi's mind as she finds his honesty nice, and the date continues. They head back outside as the day seems to be going well for Haben till Bomi tells him that she needs to meet a guy who she was friends with in grade school. Haben doesn't think much of it, but Bomi claims that the guy is actually in Haben's class and they might know each other. This surprises Haben, and he asks who is she talking about. Bomi happily claims that the guy's name is Kim. This literally drops the hammer on Haben as he can't believe she is friends with Kim, as it basically means there is no chance for him. He starts dreaming about how he will get cucked by the MMA superstar, when Bomi snaps him to reality. Haben ends up lying and claims that he is good friends with Kim, which makes her happy. But to his horror, Kim ends up walking up to them while wearing the same suit. Bomi meets him happily and tells him that she just learned that Haben and him are good friends. Kim looks down at Haben with disgust, while Haben thinks about what's going to happen now. Haben can't believe that he blurted out that he was good friends with Kim so confidently just now. He thinks about how losers like him have an unwritten rule, that is to never pretend to be good friends with anyone. Haben just broke that rule to show off before Bomi, and now he is regretting it. He is ready to face punishment for breaking such an important rule, and believes that this is where he parts ways with Bomi. However, Kim really doesn't mind calling him a friend since they are in the same class. Haben wonders what the hell is happening because he has never even talked with Kim in school, and he doesn't even know his name. Yet, he knows that Haben has a YouTube channel and remarks that they are wearing matching outfits. Haben wonders why is Kim being so nice to him, but hearing that they are friends made him feel really good earlier. The trio takes a walk after that, and Haben believes that if they ask anyone the question about who is the girl's boyfriend, everyone will say that it is Kim. He thinks that he is definitely the third wheel, and even when he drops behind, no one seems to notice it. Haben tells Kim and Bomi that he has to head home because his ingrown toenail is hurting him. He walks away, limping on purpose, because if he stays in the company of two attractive people longer than this, he will die of self-loathing. Bomi doesn't seem to be happy that he is leaving so quickly, and it seems she has caught on that Haben was lying. However, none of them was aware that Snap was nearby, shooting the entire thing with his camera setup. Haben freaks out on noticing him, but Snap strangles him to stop him from shouting and making things worse. He explains that he was just following him because he was worried. He lectures Haben about the pathetic excuse he made earlier and asks why he wimped out when things were going so well for him. Haben tries to free himself from his clutches and tells him to try getting between Bomi and Kim if he thinks he can, and then headbutts him. Haben yells that he knows better than anyone else that Bomi is way out of his league. Snap pretends to be some sage and says that love is like a fighting tournament, where many guys compete for the attention of one girl. He asks Haben if he is giving up just because an opponent stronger than him showed up. Haben meekly replies that he won't lose if he doesn't play, and Snap grabs his collar, telling him the story of a world-famous basketball coach who motivated his players when they were about to give up. The coach told them that if they give up, they have already lost the game, and Snap asks Haben if he really wants to give up now. He reminds him that it was Bomi who asked him out and bought coffee for him. Snap says that why would someone spend money on a loser like him if they were not interested in him in the first place. He reminds Haben how sad Bomi looked when he was heading back, and asks if he still wants to quit. Haben is moved to tears on hearing this and hugs Snap, thanking him for opening his eyes. Snap acts cool, telling him this is what friends are for, and sends Haben off to confess to Bomi. As Haben struts confidently towards Bomi, Snap shows his true colors and pulls out the camera setup out of nowhere. He is planning to record Haben confess to his crush and get rejected, because that is sure to get them a lot of views. However, he spots someone on the way and freezes in his tracks. On the other hand, Haben has reached Bomi, who asks him if his toenail is fine. He tells her that he got over it, but Kim asks him if he wants his ingrown toenail to be yanked out by a professional. Haben panics on hearing that, but then Kim suddenly gets up and leaves. Haben is even more confused now, but Bomi explains that Kim has a match next week, so he must return to practice. Haben feels relieved that Bomi was not on a date with Kim, and he wishes him best of luck for his next fight. Kim turns around and tells him that he is a good fighter and claims that he checked out his YouTube channel. Kim knows that Haben moved to intercept the punches early in his last video so that he doesn't get hurt, and asks if he didn't use the next move after that on purpose. Haben is confused now because he doesn't even understand what the next move was. Anyway, Kim decides to leave, saying that he will wait for his next video. Haben suddenly realizes that he is not the only one who watches Cockman's channel. After that, he sits down to talk with Bomi, but he is blushing too much to say anything clearly. He fidgets and starts rubbing his pants, gaining enough friction to release smoke from them. He finally gets enough courage and asks Bomi what her ideal type is. She turns red on hearing this and nervously says she prefers an honest person. Haben feels butterflies and decides to confess his feelings to her honestly. But as he tries telling her that she is his ideal type, he notices Snap hiding in the bushes and yanks him out. Haben starts lecturing him for setting him up only to record a video, but he is shocked to see that Snap's face is already bruised and swollen, and then the towering figure of Pak appears behind him, who is here for his revenge. Bomi tries to confront them, but Haben simply asks her to get away from here. Pak says that she has nowhere to go, and suddenly grabs her collar, calling her a bitch for not sharing her number with him earlier. Haben is angry, but he recalls Cockman's lessons to not let his emotions take control of him during a fight. He taunts Pak, asking him if he wants to be a loser again. This works on the bully, and he charges towards Haben, who puts his forehead forward to intercept the punch safely. However, what hits him is a powerful uppercut from Pak, who has already seen his video and learned his fighting style. Haben loses his balance and curses himself for using the same technique again and again like a fool. He regrets not watching the other videos and wonders what was the next move Kim was talking about. Pak angrily watches towards him, but Haben's mind is already going blank and he loses consciousness. In that brief moment, he recalls how he used to live a quiet life as a bully boy. But his attitude changed once he started making money off YouTube. He was overconfident just because he learnt one technique in a fight, and showed his face to the world because that would earn him more money. However, after earning money, he became complacent and began focusing on studying or learning to fight, and that has made him a loser again. It starts raining, and Haben is on the ground, surrounded by Pac and his friends. He has been beaten pretty badly, and he can only beg Pac to let him go home. His friends hold Bomi tightly, and Haben begs Pac to at least let her go. He thought that getting beaten was nothing because wounds heal pretty quickly. But this time, he feels that the emotional scar he got by being humiliated in front of Bomi will never get filled. Pac hits him, but Haben is determined to make sure that Bomi reaches home safely, no matter what it takes. He gets on his knees and apologizes to Pac, who says that his apology lacks sincerity. He tells Haben to take his pants off and apologize again. That too in front of all his viewers. Snap is being forced by Pac's friends to shoot a live stream for their channel as he gets humiliated, and he can only apologize to his friend while crying. Pac tells him to take his pants